Hello everybody, good evening, welcome back. We have another exciting matchup for you tonight at the MIT League of Legends Club. It is on the blue side for game number 1, TM8S versus on the red side, Water BFLO. We are diving straight into the champ select for the stream. Coming right out, Kindred ban, Volibear ban. I am joined by two co-casters tonight. We got Fred, we got Adam, we got the fabled TriCast team reassembled in our Central Square studio. We are ready to go. I'm excited.
Yeah, reassembled. I like that. All right, so the Volibear ban, we've hit on this before. That's going to be targeted at Green Bay. We have seen him playing just these kinds of champions. Udyr, Volibear, Shyvana, get very tanky, do a ton of damage, go in on the enemy team. All sorts of fun stuff like that.
Yep. And earlier today, we did also see two Volibear games.
Yes.
From the winning side, Team ARAR with the 2-0 win over Ready to Feed. Volibear in the jungle for both of those games. Yeah. Who is on that account right now?
I have to know.
I think too many people have the password to that account.
I don't even have the password to that account.
I think I'm logged in by default.
Oh my god.
I don't know. I've been logged into multiple accounts on the same browser. Anyways, back to Champion Select. We see the kill taken away from Pinducky.
We see the Rise ban, okay.
From Pinducky.
Yeah.
But I mean, honestly, Pinducky is just
I think he's got a deep enough champion pool, but if it can build a Rage Blade, he'll be okay.
Okay, so we've seen Green Bay on the Master Yi before, and it's been very effective. Get ready for some scary Devourer Master Yi. What else can I say?
Now, earlier in this tournament, we saw people just kind of body Devourer junglers by denying them half their jungle, and in one case, force them into an alternate build path. Though I think that this is not going to happen to the teammates because their solo laners are strong enough to not have that happen, I think. We haven't seen Pinducky fall super far behind. We haven't seen the bot lane fall super far behind, but we'll see. We'll see if they can deny that Devourer stack in Green Bay as well.
Should be noted, Azir is available for Heki.
Yeah, it is.
We have talked before about it. I don't want to say like one trick necessarily, because we've seen him succeed on other champions.
We also seen him swap to other roles.
Exactly.
Right,
so exactly.
Their team is pretty flexible.
Yeah. But yeah, when he does get that Azir, he is extremely scary. So kind of looking for him to block that.
Yeah, and at the very last second in Champ Select, we do see Veni Vidi Vici locking in the Malphite and Mafcow locking in Rek'Sai.
Now that Rek'Sai is a pick we haven't seen in a very long time, actually.
That's true. Not a lot of Rek'Sais in this tournament. We've mostly seen the Devourer junglers or the other tanky junglers. As you said earlier, Volibear, Udyr.
Yep. Master Yi.
I mean, he's a tank jungler now. What can I say?
Yeah, Jax for Pinducky. Not surprised to see this. One of his favorite Well, I don't really know what.
I think all of the split pushers are his favorite champion.
Yeah. Looking for him to get a Rage Blade. We'll see how he does in lane. I can't really speak to the Jax Malphite lane matchup. I kind of have to think that eventually Malphite just outscales in terms of like fighting, but I don't know.
Eventually, Malphite's gonna have the upper hand. Jax has the damage to push him around a little bit early on, though. Now we do see the Victor coming out instead of the Azir. So that is interesting seeing Heki. Yeah, that is interesting seeing Heki not going for that champion when it's actually up. Possibly doesn't want to blind pick it.
Yeah, Azir blind pick into mid. There are a lot of unfavorable matchups for it.
Yeah,
that is true.
That is true. And Coenzyme DA picking up the Lucian along with Braum.
Yeah, LeBrum!
That's one of the strongest lanes you can imagine, really, just because the double tap makes it really easy to trigger that Braum passive.
All right.
I'm always happy when I'm playing with a Braum regardless, but especially on Lucian.
I'm predicting...
Fred.
Thank you, Adam. Thank you for that support recommendation. I'll make sure to pick up Braum. I'll make sure to pick up Nami, Thresh, and some other champions before I look at Braum.
Lucian Thresh is pretty brutal.
Speaking of Thresh, do you see that picked up on the other side by Kaleido?
Now, actually, I'm kind of expecting him the trade between Heki and Kaleido. We've seen Kaleido on Victor, if I remember correctly, and we've seen Heki on the Thresh.
Yes, that is true.
That's Ezreal for Cruiser, so just going to look to be safe in the laning phase and scale up. And Coenzyme M going with the Annie pick. Now, I really have to talk about the lovely names here.
Great, thank you.
Anyway,
I think Adam enjoys making my life as a caster difficult whenever possible.
we do have a really scary team fighting comp though on the side of Water Buffalo.
On both sides, really.
That's true.
Yeah,
Well,
the Rek'Sai and
different
Malphite
goals.
between them bring a lot of knockups, a lot of team fight
Yeah,
disruption.
and
Annie
then
on top of that with the
Annie
stun
and
and Braum ult.
and then Lucian just there to clean everything up.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Water Buffaloes has enough team fight engaged so that Braum can just sit around and peel for the back line. And that's going to be totally okay. You got 2 people going in, you have 1 big tank in the back protecting your 2 carries. That's going to be totally fine. If Coenzyme M can find the picks, that's going to be even better. Just go in and instantly delete one of those carries for the teammates.
Coenzyme DA can clean up.
Oh my god.
This is going to be fun to
If I knew
cast.
more biology, there would probably be a good joke in there.
I don't know if there is actually.
I'm
I'm not convinced.
science side of Twitch chat, please advise.
Science side of Twitch chat. Yeah, I was gonna say maybe one of our Twitch viewers can help us out here. But let's talk about the team comp from the other side. We do see the 2 TPs in top lane, and Pinducky is going to grow to be a pretty massive split pusher on Jax.
Yeah. To me, it looks like a 1-3-1 comp, honestly. Thresh has a lot
Alright.
of disengage. Ezreal looks to kite out fights. Victor also has a lot of disengage with his W. So they can protect to some degree against engages on the 3, and then Master Yi and Jax in the split in the side lanes.
Yeah.
And I mean, Jax hitting turrets is one of the most satisfying or scary sounds in the game, depending on who you're rooting for.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so here's the thing. I totally agree they have a large amount of disengage. They have a large amount of kiting. They're going to be able to get away with the Victor gravity field, with the Thresh disengage, with the Ezreal Iceborne Gauntlet procs, but can that actually allow you to get rid of a Malphite?
No.
Yeah. And
Well, unless he misses his ult.
Unless it, well... Thank you, Adam.
I do also want to mention, though, that as we've seen a lot of times from teammates so far in this tournament, they bring a comp that is almost entirely single target damage.
Yeah.
Master Yi gets a little bit of the splash going with the Alpha Strike.
Victor gets a little
Victor
bit
gets
of AoE.
Victor gets a decent
Victor
amount of
has a
AoE,
lot.
but
Victor
most
actually has a huge AoE burst.
Victor has good AoE burst, but most of their damage is going to be single target focus, and so that when they're playing these team fights, that means they need to be a lot more focused on the target selection than you would have to get from Water Buffalo. I think Water Buffalo brings a lot of that team fight AoE wombo, where as long as you're hitting somebody, you're damaging everybody.
Yeah,
That is
pretty
true.
much.
That is true. I'm interested to see the Rek'Sai pick. I think it has actually very good synergy with the goals of their team. Which is to go in, get some knockups, and have more global pressure than just that Malphite. Because if they do, if the teammates do 1v3, if the teammates do 1-3-1, wow, I can't talk today. You do want that Malphite with the rest of the team on Water Buffaloes to force that engage instead of splitting off. And I think Rek'Sai is a very suited role to going into that side lane, repelling one of the pushes, ulting back to mid lane to join up with the team for the team fight. So I do like that. It complements the team very well.
Yeah. Other things to talk about. There are 4 carry threats on the side of teammates. So when team fights do break out, we have to watch to see how many carries the AoE wombo can actually get onto. If you can lock down and blow up 2 carries, let's say, you're probably good to go. Especially if you get more than 2. I don't know. You got 3 people, then you're gonna win the fight. If you can't get a lot of carries with a given AoE combo, they're going to just demolish you, I think.
Yeah. Now the thing is, they're not an especially tanky team. Is another thing we have to keep in mind here. If we do look at Water Buffaloes, they have 3 massive tanks in the mid and late game, and that is something the teammates just don't have. And we're gonna have to see how they play around that.
Yeah. Now Jax will be fairly tanky, because he gets so many free stats.
Yes. But it's not the same as having a dedicated tank.
Right. Yeah. And yeah, again, Thresh also gets tanky, but as a support, he isn't really a true tank. And I mean, even Braum as a support will have a lot more effective tankiness because
Damage reduction.
of all the damage reduction.
I was
yeah,
also
for
curious to
WD.
see that they picked the Ezreal into the Braum, knowing it was already locked
Yeah,
in.
that's the Braum can block a lot of what Ezreal does.
Pretty much everything.
I mean,
Ezreal does, actually.
It might just be a comfort team fighting pick rather than an actual counter matchup or an actual counter pick is what I'm thinking.
Right. Yeah. And Ezreal does have a lot of safety, especially if you have to stay safe when there are 5 people against your 3 or 4 people against your 3 in the mid lane or something like that.
Right. And I think a lot of this game does come down to how well these teams can play the map. if Water Buffaloes can capitalize on their ability to go in on the 1-3-1 split push, I think they can take a lot of these fights, take some turrets, get some objectives. But if either of these maps, wow, I really can't talk today. If either of these teams misplay their macro map movements, I think they're going to be punished very swiftly by the other team.
Yeah. Jax and Master Yi
Exactly.
can instantly punish with tower pushes
Exactly.
if you leave them alone in side lanes.
Yep. And on the other hand, Water Buffaloes can instantly win team fights.
We haven't said a ton about lane matchups yet. So I want to talk about that a little bit. So Lucian Braum, very, very strong lane.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Thresh and Ezreal can do much against it early, especially with the tier build for Ezreal that pretty much everyone goes for. In the mid lane, I expect Annie to have an advantage over Victor, at least early on. Just because she can exert a lot of early pressure, like her Q is very spammable, and her stun is always up.
Yeah. I do expect the matchup to swing the other way at some point when Victor's range advantage actually starts kicking in and he starts doing some damage.
Right, yeah. And eventually he'll be a huge team fighting threat to be reckoned with.
He will.
Just because he can really lay down that AoE damage in a fight. With his ult, his E, and a Q, that's enough to just blow up a carry.
Yeah, it is. Now, something nice that we're seeing from these teams is that both teams have their matching club tag flares. This is something we really like.
I think that's the first time we've seen
that. Yeah, that is
full team from both teams.
Excellent.
We do also see early group from teammates. Not too surprising. See that a lot out of them.
Yeah, well, from both teams really.
They were more. Water Buffalo was more spread out at the start of this, which I think is why they weren't able to get the pick on. Yeah, I'd really love seeing the invade with the Braum. I've made this work many a time. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Shame.
You can get some very quick stuns down on the enemy team.
I was looking forward to a level 1 fight. You know, just get Ezreal a pentakill, get things rolling.
I don't really think that's how it would have gone, but yeah, sure. Usually when there's a level 1 fight, the team with the Braum does very well.
Get Malphite a pentakill. Get Braum a pentakill. There we go.
or as we saw earlier today, the team with Jhin and Morgana.
Yeah.
For instant lock from forever.
That's pretty much that. That's pretty much that bottom lane. Instant lock from forever.
Yeah, something like that.
That's a good description.
Yeah, we do see both of these junglers starting out on the Krugs, get some help from their lane.
It would actually be really funny to see a jungler get like the level 1 pentakill and instantly have Devour or something.
That sounds pretty brutal to me.
Yeah, that's what Annie does. She has her Q on like basically 0 cooldown, charges up her stun, and then uses it.
Yeah. That was actually one of the when I was starting out playing the game, I did not realize the bit about Annie's mana and cooldown refund from last hitting on the Q. So man, last hitting is really hard with this champion. Last hitting with Annie, much easier than you think.
Yep.
And then you discovered Anivia, and that last thing was actually hard.
I discovered recently that even though I don't really play Annie, playing Annie into something like Yasuo is really fun. Like, first of all, Yasuo already is like the champion that tilts me. Well, one of the champions that tilts me.
All the champions tilt him, don't worry.
It's actually Alawi who tilts me.
Adam's actually sideways right now.
I'm literally tilted. Anyways.
Yeah, a lot of trading back and forth. Pinducky actually getting a good amount of damage down on Deveni Vidivici in the top lane.
Yeah, and that is what we expected. Like, Malphite doesn't really have the damage or, like, anything early on. But as he gets a little more items, a little more ranks in his abilities, we are going to expect to see Malphite getting the upper hand in that matchup.
Kind of scared for him. Okay, there we go. How's the shield back up?
Yep, that's fine. He also has the corrupting potion.
Yeah.
Rek'Sai coming up toward the top lane, but Jax does have that bush warded, so Pinducky's going to see him coming in, and we see Pinducky backing off right now. The knockup not going to come in, actually, as he
didn't want to get stunned, I don't think.
Yeah, had the evade up and the stun. And trading in the mid lane as well. Both of these mid laners starting to burn through their potions.
Oh, hook hits a minion. I'm very familiar with that concept, yeah.
Wow, okay. Thanks, Adam.
Oh, I was talking from my own experiences with Thresh.
Oh. I thought that was a critique of my support Thresh play, which admittedly is not very good, so.
I don't even remember the last time you played Thresh. Oh, jeez. Okay.
But we're off to a pretty quiet early game. Both teams happy to just farm it up. A little bit of action on the top side, but
Yeah, top side,
Nothing's
mid-side,
gone down yet.
trading
We
back
do
and forth
see
quite a
Green
bit.
Bay
Ezreal
coming in,
Cruiser
though.
jumping forward pretty aggressively. Meanwhile, the top lane, Green Bay is coming in for a gank. Gonna try and get onto this Malphite. Does get the Alpha Strike onto
the
him.
red buff.
Doesn't quite have the damage. Red buff taking down a little bit, but takes 2 full turret shots, and that's gonna force him out of there. So coming up for the gank, not able to make anything happen quite. And Veni Vidi Vici will be healing up with that corrupting potion.
And Scumbag direct to camera pans us to the bot lane just in time to see Heki miss a hook, making him look bad. Lands a double flay though.
And Braum starts to proc the stun, but can't follow up with the rest of it from Coenzyme DA. There's the mastery spam just to let him know. Top lane, Green Bay still sticking around and is not going to be able to cut through that Malphite just yet.
Crucially, he doesn't have the red buff anymore.
Yep, and you definitely want that with that early duel. Gets the stun in the mid lane. A little bit of damage onto Kaleido. And again, top lane and mid lane both trading back and forth. Pinducky diving in very aggressively on Veni Vidi Vici. He might just have the damage. Gets the flash. First blood to Jax in the top lane. Finishes off the kill. Good use of that aggressive flash there, judging his damage exactly right.
Really nicely done.
Good
I actually
mechanics.
thought that the ground slam, the attack speed slow on the ground slam might deny him that kill, because he actually canceled an auto because of that attack speed slow. It's so annoying to deal with. Anyways, yeah, nicely done by Pinducky. He's been winning that lane, I mean, the whole time. Oh, good thing that Veni Vidi Vici had that TP, though. Catches the whole wave.
That is very important.
And that's going to be a big experience boost for him. Just able to get the Ruby Crystal and Cloth Armor on the first back. So it looks like he's going to be going toward the Sunfire Kype.
The tank memes coming through. All right.
Oh man, yes.
I like it.
Kype.
Yeah. Bottom lane CS very even so far.
I think he just has
we're
that.
Gonna see the mastery spam every time Braum lands a Q.
Yeah.
Finally gets the stun on the Thresh, but taking another turret shot. Braum actually has to jump back out. It's Wolster home.
Kind of surprisingly, it's the Thresh Ezreal lane that's actually getting the better trade so far in this lane. Sorry, I can't talk either.
Yeah, Cruiser is just about out of mana, though. We've seen him going aggressively. The hook lands onto Wolsterholm, but no follow-up available from Cruiser. As I said, quite low on mana. I'm not sure if he actually had enough for the E in that trade.
I feel like Wolstenholm actually just has his mastery emote bound to Q. I've
done that before. It's really fun.
I will have to see later on in the game whether that's true, but I think so far every time he's shot a Q, the mastery emote has fired at the same time. So we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening with that.
Yeah, and we do see Water Buffalo's bot lane does get forced back, although they're able to pick up a Warhammer on the first back. Yep. Pretty nice item breakpoint for Lucian. So he's going to be going toward that Essence Reaver.
Not quite as nice as the BS sword, but you're not going to complain too much.
No, you're not.
You can hit that.
Now, Veni Vidi Vici hitting a little bit of a break in this top lane as he shoves a giant wave into Pinducky's turret, dissuading any potential aggression from that Jax. You do not want to engage in the top lane onto that many minions because they will eat right through your health bar. So gets a little bit of a break there. Still down slightly in CS, but they both have that level 6. Crucially for Malphite, he will be able to either engage with that extra damage in CC or disengage the fights.
Yep, speaking of disengaging fights, Pinducky jumping in again, gets through that Malphite shield and will get a little bit more damage with the Grasp of the Undying, getting that health back pretty nicely. They end up trading fairly evenly, and Pinducky, though, is not done. Still wants to jump in on there and keep getting damage.
Yep. Now, Pinducky has more damage items and an extra minion, which is why he managed to come out on top in that trade.
And Mathcow does get caught, nearly gets flayed out of his tunnel. Good job by Rek'Sai.
Actually gets hooked.
Thresh is diving in onto that hook in the mid lane. Looks like they're going to collapse on him. That's now 3 members of that team.
Tibbers!
Big Tibbers on top of them. Gets 2 in the stun, but Coenzyme M gets bursted out by the Victor ultimate in Retribution. And that is 2 kills over to Kaleido in the mid lane as Coenzyme M tries to get in there and turn the fight with the Annie stun, but just incredible immediate burst to get him down.
Yeah, I mean, really nice stun by Coenzyme M, but even nicer follow-up by Kaleido onto that play, able to get his huge AoE damage onto everyone.
And that was with just about the last of his mana pool.
For real.
Putting the ult right on top of Annie just immediately burst down.
Yep.
And that turned the fight. It has 3 members alive, able to kill off jungler. So 3 kills to none.
Okay, going to get 2 upgrades of the Hex Core immediately, so that's going to be the E.
Oh, wow.
The Q.
I mean, we can find out. Let's see.
Yeah, it's almost always the
augment. Oh, it just says augment regardless.
Yeah,
all right. Well, that's
I'm
interesting.
assuming it's the E and the Q because those.
The
E
gets you your early wave clear.
Yes, it does.
And then the Q gets you a lot of kite potential with the move speed on Q, which is.
Hey, remember when Vickers could only augment one thing?
Yeah,
Nope.
that was awkward. that I really like the change they made to Victor, where they made him actually like do something later on.
Hey, remember Regrowth Pendant, guys?
Oh jeez. Hey, remember Soul Shroud? We were just talking about this.
Soul Shroud is great.
We did see Mafcow trying to get another gank off in the top lane, but Pinducky been doing a good job of keeping that River Brush warded and
Yep.
staying safe from the Rek'Sai ganks coming in. More
And
down the bot lane.
in general, like after getting that first kill in lane, Pinducky has been content to just play it out pretty safely, as we do see a little bit of action happening in the bot lane.
Mafcow also
Romo
coming
popped.
into the mid lane, getting the slide onto Kaleido, gets the knockup. Coenzyme M, though, quite low, wants to stay back and is able to do that.
As we go
Mafcow
back
and
into the
Rek'Sai
bottom
picking
lane.
it up. In the bot lane, Cruiser going deep onto Braum, but the stun finally procs, and Wolstenholme is going to be able to get out of here. Lucian, that's a flash over the wall, dodges the flay, and a culling to the face finishes off the double kill for Coenzyme DA in the bottom lane.
Oh, Cruiser, buddy, I am so sorry. That slight miscommunication made him flash completely the wrong direction into the Lucian instead of away to safety, and Coenzyme DA picks up 2 kills off the back of that play. Oh, no. Just a slight miscommunication there.
Yeah, that's slightly awkward. What can I say? Yeah, nice hook there. That would have been so good, except the flash was the wrong direction. What can I say?
Oh dear. Apparently we are having some trouble with our in-game volume. It has been pointed out on the stream, so
Hopefully people can still hear us.
yeah, I believe we're coming through, but the in-game volume is not. So apologies for the difficulties on that. We'll try and get that sorted out for you in just a moment.
All right.
So I'm gonna let Fred and Adam talk you through that while I look into what's going on here.
Absolutely. We got our own personal tech guy right on the side here. But so far, we see Hecky killing a pink ward. Oh, is he going to get it? Is he going to...
I think he got it.
He gets the pink ward. There we go.
Now he might be in a bit of trouble. Yeah, I think you're right. I think Mastery is bound to queue for Braum here.
Now we see some supportal combat with Mafcow is ruining. Wow, that is a really, really nice flay onto Hecky, actually. Hecky does get stunned up with the Braum passive. The Mastery spam comes out. And can he actually make this out alive? The Chilling Spike comes out, but Mafcow crits him, interestingly. And secures that kill. All right, well...
Yeah.
I guess that's what the 1% crit rune is for.
Yeah, pretty
right.
much. In fairness, Hecky was pretty dead.
Yeah.
We are actually going to take the stream down for just one moment while we have a break in the action so we can get you the correct audio. So we'll be back with you. Before that, we have Coenzyme M going down in the mid lane, so just enough time for one more kill.
Just a very good
We'll be
Victor
back
combo.
with you in just one moment. Stay with us.